The English language is complex, and as a result, there are many aspects of it that can be confusing. One of these is when to use I versus when to use me. This is so difficult because I and me are both pronouns that are used when talking about yourself, so essentially they have the same definitions, but each one is used in different grammatical situations. I is considered a nominative pronoun, which means it's the subject of a sentence referring to the person performing the action. For instance, here I have I went to the store. The action of going to the store is performed by I. On the other hand, me is an object pronoun. It's the direct or indirect object of the verb or preposition, which means it refers to the person that the action is being done to. In this example, our mom hugged me. Me is who is receiving the action of the hug. In general, in cases like this, knowing when to use I or me is pretty simple. The problem occurs when we have I or me connected to another pronoun or name with the word and, nor, or. Let's take a look at this first example I have here. The puppy licked my sister and we'd fill that in with either I or me. Here I see that I have another name, my sister, and it's connected to the I or me with the word and, which is what I'm talking about here when I say the confusion usually occurs when I or me is connected with another pronoun or name with or, and or nor. My suggestion for how to handle these is let's get rid of the part that's confusing and read the rest of the sentence as is. The puppy licked me. That's because me is the object of the sentence. It is who is receiving the action of the puppy licking, and the puppy is actually the subject. But rather than being so focused on is it a nominative pronoun performing the action or is it an object pronoun receiving the action, you could just go ahead and cross off the confusing part, the other pronoun or name, and the connection of and, or, nor, and then see what would work, me or I, in that situation. For example, on this next one, Susie and blank are best friends. Would I say I are best friends, or would I say me are best friends? I know it's weird to think of the fact that we're plugging in I or me because we have this word are, but try not to focus too much on that. I wouldn't say me is best friends. I would say I am best friends. So I know that are throws it off a little bit, but getting rid of the pronoun or name along with the word and can at least help focus in. Furthermore, I is the subject of the sentence along with Susie. Let's take a look at another example. The snobby girl thinks she is above my family and blank, but she's not. Let's get rid of the confusing part, my family and try to answer it without that. The snobby girl thinks she is above me, but she is not. In this case, me is the object and girl is the subject. Joseph and blank don't always get along, but we try. Let's cross off the confusing part. Would I say me don't always get along or I don't always get along? Clearly it's I, and that's because I is the subject. Give the recipe to, let's cross it off, me. That's the object. Ashley went to the pool with, cross it off, me. You and, well, that's the part that's confusing, so let's get rid of it. Oh, we have this are situation, so don't let that deter you. Would you say I am going to the movies or me is going to the movies? Clearly it's I, even though the are would have to change. The context of knowing that I is the subject is still the same. Now let's get into some that have nor. Neither he nor, so I'm going to get rid of this part. And would I say me can attend the meeting or I can attend the meeting? Clearly it's I, it is the subject. Let's do the same thing here. Would I say I am to blame or me is to blame? I. Again, I had to change the word there and add in the word am or is so that it would make sense when I read it, but the situation of I being the subject is still consistent. What others think should be important to neither. I'm going to get rid of neither and nor. Let's just kind of read it through without those. What others think should be important to me. So getting rid of that confusing part makes it really clear because others is actually the subject. Again, let's get rid of neither and nor he. Would I say I wanted to go to the play or me wanted to go to the play? Clearly it's I, the subject. Let's get rid of this. Oh, actually, not that one. That's the subject. Let's get rid of this. She saw I at the store yesterday, or she saw me at the store yesterday. It must be me because she is the subject. Here I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. The document must be signed by I. The document must be signed by me. Me, because document is the subject. The bottom line here is when you have the confusing situations where you have another pronoun or name connected with the word and or nor, go ahead and just get rid of that pronoun or name and get rid of the and or nor and read it otherwise and decide if me or I makes sense. You could also consider it as try to solve these by trying to figure out which one is the object or the subject. But if that's too difficult for you, and in some cases it is a little tricky, try the strategy of just crossing off the pronoun name and the word and or nor and seeing if me or I works.